Hey Ali, everything is back to normal here. Where are you? How is it going? Listen, why wait for November? If you're coming back to Chengdu, let's meet and talk about your KAILU project.
I was driving from Gansu back south to Sichuan, and I received a message from Rocco. Rocco and Emma are the founders of Zero Waste Chengdu, and the first time I heard about them was in the summer of 2019, when Rocco asked me about a compost bin workshop. We only met through video calls up until that point, but I knew that I had to interview them for the KAILU Project. So he texted me saying that Chengdu was clear again, asking me where I was and if we could meet. Perfect timing, because when I arrived in Chengdu 2 weeks prior, Rocco and Emma were in lockdown. Hence, we decided to postpone our meeting to November. But thankfully, we didn't have to wait that long. So with my itinerary changing and Chengdu clearing the COVID spread, it seemed like a new opportunity presented itself. But before I get back into a big city, I just needed to be in Yunnan. So I felt such a relief to be back in a green and familiar environment. I was so excited to see Dayu again, go to his coffee shop and hike around the city here. I spent most of my days in the mornings working on videos and emails, and then in the afternoon I would take KAILU out and we would go hike in the mountains and try out a new place to eat every day. Pure bliss. I just needed these last few days to really recalibrate my emotions after the hectic week that just passed. So a couple of days ago, I traveled an hour to the capital, Chengdu, to meet up with Rocco and Emma, and it was amazing. Over lunch, we got to know each other better, and they told me how they met and how they got to start Zero Waste Chengdu. We shared business experiences and problems while enjoying amazing dishes outside on the porch. And then suddenly it started to pour like crazy. And anyway, we went inside, but the air smelled so nice. It was such a great time. Yeah, okay. So, so like...
That's not filming, is it?
It is already filming.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are we here today?
Yes. Okay. Here to talk about sustainability. I don't know if it's oh fuck up. Sorry.
Everyone, I'm Emma and I'm the co-founder of Zero Waste Chengdu. So I'm also here to join the talk about sustainability.
Nice.
We found out about 2 weeks ago in Europe, and we said maybe this could be the solution for these hotels. And we started with a WeChat group.
Yeah.
And
we started off by made 2 posters basically.
Okay.
yeah, we
And,
made 2 posters.
one English and one Chinese, and that was also my first time of learning how to make posters. Even I had to ask around like what kind of apps do you usually do, and then trying to. Anyways, I made 2 posters, and then through that posters we formed a group.
Yeah.
And that was how everything started.
And what was, because I think what's really interesting, what I love to hear, and I think what people love to hear is like that process. When you tell me like we had to learn first. I did this course at this college. Like I learned this. And that's how it creates. I mean, the grants, that was so kismet the way that it came. That you checked your phone. That you were like, okay, we have 1 week. Let's do it. And it's like, because of your passion for it, it's like no questions asked, like just let's get to work. Like you see an opportunity and you just like hang. And I think I can always like I'm thinking like right now this interview is going to be so amazing. Like people are going to love it because it is so accessible.
Yes.
It's something that's like really everyone can do, and I think people think like because for me it's different. Like I'm a white person in China. Like I have more privileges by definition because the way of how I look. But I think like your story is so inspiring, and I think that you can get way further than what I was able to do in Shanghai, just because first of all you're a team, and because you learn everything from scratch. And I think again, like even you hearing about saying like I had to learn how to make posters, it's like I was like I don't know how to make posters, you know. But you did it. So you created a group chat, you had those 2 posters, you sent it out, and then like how are people reacting to it? Like what was like please keep explaining the process, because I think that is so inspiring.
Yeah, so after we started this group, because on the posters we clearly stated our mission and vision, and also kind of in a brief way what is this project about, and how people can participate and get engaged in it. And people are really like interested in this. And so first, it's I think it's really quite creative. I would say like nothing like no ideas like this has been existed here yet. And then the second is about the environment. I think everybody has the intrinsic need of doing something good to help, you know. So maybe they see. They are inspired by this way of, okay, this is also I can contribute my power in it, and then I can do something good. And then okay, we started this group, but we didn't have any partners yet, right?
Right.
We didn't have any,
we had like
business.
2 weeks of nothing. It was just the group and just we just
because first step we thought we should first try the market reaction over this, and if there is a market positive reaction toward it, then we can bring this to partners, bring this to business, and tell them, hey, look, we have the public maybe ready for this, and please can we work together. So, and then we started to reach out to businesses, and we started off by working with this hotel we mentioned, where we actually got inspired from solving this issue.
the awareness in China. Oh my god, the awareness.
The public awareness, I would say, is another challenge, but here I see it on one hand as a challenge, and on the other hand as a opportunity or a force for me to just be more creative in how to get them more involved and how to make them aware, first of all, this is the issue, and second of all, how to creatively involve them in being part of the Changemakers. Because I think as using my personal experience as an example, because as a Chinese, before I met you, truly I didn't have so much exposure to the information that I have nowadays, and I was, I would say, 99% blind to how the whole world is at this stage. And then after I got aware of this issue, and then I just see opportunities of how we as ordinary individuals can actually have so much power in making things much better for ourselves. So I think if I can do it, I can go through this process, anybody can. We kind of expanded our experience from the awareness campaign to serve businesses.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
And how was the business's reaction to what you were doing? Like Louis Vuitton, for example, what a beautiful example. Like clients, like what was that interaction? How was that collaboration?
It's funny, right? Because these are. So the first thing they did with us was a blogging activity, like a team building activity.
Yeah.
So we did a blogging. So it's funny to see the very fancy Louis Vuitton managers and wearing Louis Vuitton.
After lunch, Rocco and Emma wanted to show me a couple of places around the city. They took me to a modern repair shop. Like, Chinese people are really good at repairing things and saving money, but because of the rise in production and consumption in the last years, it's actually cheaper and more convenient to buy new instead of repairing things. this new repair shop brings a new and younger invitation to repair and buy secondhand. It's like kind of cool. And then they took me to a shop called Blue Sheep in the Tibetan neighborhood. It was really such a nice day. Like, I had been, again, so down, and I had been really struggling emotionally with the last couple of... It was just so nice to have had this day with Rocco and Emma, and I felt like we've known each other for so long, and we knew, like, we went so deep in our conversation. It felt just really amazing. And it was just much, much needed. And I felt just so grateful for them and just this entire journey. It's really helped me to put things back into perspective. So when I got back from Chengdu, I kept on resting, hiking, working, and planning. I was watching the news closely and gauging what the best course of action could be for KAILU and I, because of COVID, it's really difficult to navigate it. So I think, I went through every single scenario in my head, places I wanted to see, people I wanted to meet. Like, ideally, I would have loved to visit the Norla Atelier in Gansu, a sustainable winery in Ningxia, entrepreneurs in Beijing, an architect that's outside of the capital of Beijing that is just wildly cool, surfers in Hainan, and then more entrepreneurs in Guangzhou and Shenzhen. And also, I wanted to meet my friend Leo in Kunming, and then a sustainable designer in Dali, also in Yunnan province. So I think going back north to travel to Gansu, Ningxia, Beijing was just too risky at the moment, and honestly probably very few chances for me of finding a place to stay or even allowed to continue. So also Hainan, Guangzhou and Shenzhen are back in the southeast, and I'm currently in central China. So I decided to head south to Yunnan so I can meet Liu in Kunming, who has also a zero waste sustainable organization there, and then meet Rio, who is a bit further in Dali, who is a designer and now also baker, and anyway, she owns a restaurant, but her mindset is also very much sustainable. She had this brand called Rio Ilo, which was a sustainable brand, garment brand. So cool. Oh my god. I'm not sure if she's still doing this right now, but anyway, I just have to go meet her. The drive to Kunming is long. It's about 10 hours. And I plan to do it in a day. So southbound we go. Can I call it passion?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So even before meeting me, what was it? Did you see a documentary? What was it that made you think oh wow, Zero Waste Shanghai, that's pretty cool. Let's do that as well. What was it before that?
No, actually, I have been very... I think it's pretty much the media from the West. I've been very, very drawn to this idea that we have to basically save the world. Okay. I would say probably the first one would be the Inconvenient Truth.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the first one. I think I was young. I was maybe 15 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was pretty young, and I saw this, and I was always curious about, of course, nature and biology and the environment and stuff, but I never really understood. This is the first time that I saw a video or a documentary saying the impact that we have in this planet. So probably it was from there, and that led to make me watch many more I watched like Leonardo DiCaprio's Nat Geo documentary, and that was really good. And actually, most of these documentaries I have watched, like pretty much all of them.
Okay. How about you, Emma?
So for me, before I started the Zero Waste Chengdu with him, I used to work for an educational consultancy company that is working for alternative education called World of Education. So in that World of Education, they were always stressing about how important the overall awareness of the human being is, and how we need to educate not just the brain of the people, but we also need to incorporate the heart and the hand. So I was very inspired by that part, and they do a lot of environmental practices in that school as well.
Okay.
So I'm exposed to a lot of these practical solutions already, and then after I met him and he started to introduce to me all of these documentaries, and which I was never actually exposed to before that. I mean, I think it is the case with a lot of Chinese people here. Is we do lack of exposure to these type of informations, and then I started to realize that actually we need to do something here. It is an urgent problem. Yeah.
That's so inspiring. Both of you. It's so inspiring. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So then, like you meet, and then you both have this shared. Can I call it passion?
Yeah, for sure. yeah. I mean, I would call it a call.
Yeah, calling. Yeah.
I was like, I think it's just the same as anybody working in sustainability. They are part of this movement that believe that we need to make a change, and I think probably even our generation is even more exposed to this idea that it is very, very urgent. Zero waste event with it, and we don't really plan the whole event. Like, we just help them plan it in a more sustainable way. Yeah.
So in the preparation part of the event, we go through all the list of materials that they buy just for the event, and we work with them together to decide which of these ones can be replaced with more sustainable options. And then during the event, we're gonna give people a short presentation explaining people, okay, this is what we're doing in this event and the intention, and also what are we going to do differently, maybe from the events that they attended before. It's just a very simple, like, short one. And then on the event site, we install like bins, and we put up signs, and just in a more visible way, reminding people, okay, please sort garbage if you generate sort garbage properly. And then at the end of the event, we make sure we take care of everything, we manage everything properly.
I think the credit will go with the people that are going to do the event. They are really, really cooperative. They help us a lot, and they are very open. They just
organize
very, very. Also, it's a very, very nice place, and they already had actually a lot of sustainable packaging. So it was not a big change for them. They were pretty aware. They were pretty aware. So, I think the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges we've had, we can talk about the bad side, like the challenges we faced.
Yeah.
And because this is, I think, very, very important information, very good information for anyone that is working for sustainability or wants to work for sustainability in China. So the first problem, I think the biggest problem for me personally, you can also expand on this, is the misunderstanding that people have of sustainability. The misunderstanding that people have of sustainable businesses or people that are working for sustainability. It's really unfair that a group of people think that we cannot make money, we cannot charge, we shouldn't really do
anything for money. And this is probably the biggest problem we've had with a lot of people within the sustainability community. And it is very odd because then the support comes from people that are not really even, they don't really know about sustainability, and they're not even so much about sustainability. They're not even in groups, they're not reading about sustainability. How come there's this misunderstanding that sustainable companies shouldn't make any money? Like, I mean, this is just very, very unfair for us. I think very, very, it's a big challenge in the perception.
The group target that you work with the most? Because communities, I assume it's more like elderly people?
Yes.
It's mixed. Yeah, then we have to work with elderly people for sure.
Yeah.
And then we also have like working people, middle-aged people, and people has children, and even sometimes young people. Then that's where the fun is actually for me, because then I have to create different activities with different group of people. And for example, for older people, here in Chengdu, old people like to plant stuff at their home. So this is where I can engage with them in like making composting, and they have time to do that. So they love this type of stuff. And actually, this is also part of the traditional practice as well. People used to compost. So, and then with families with kids, we have to design a lot of parent children like games and interactive activities with these people. And for younger people, and they're more maybe into things that are trendy and fashion and stuff, then we design like upcycling stuff and these type of things. So sustainability for me is you always find your thing in it. It's not just a boring concept that we just talk about, or we just like put it behind on the back of our mind. I mean, we can always find something and do something. To have our app, how do I say that? Our app would be having users in all the majors in, let's say, capital cities in China.
Wow, that's a great goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great goal.
And I guess for Zero Waste Chengdu would be like a growing more and more, helping more and more communities to reduce their waste. It could become more educational. I mean, it is just there. It is just incorporated there. Like I would like Zero Waste Chengdu to be the to-go of people from Chengdu to find sustainable solutions.
Yes.
Like whatever they are thinking about. Oh, I need to recycle my phone. I need to recycle this, or how do I?
Let's ask them.
Yeah, how can I be more sustainable at work, or how can I compost my own food waste, and so in the platform, the zero food waste, in the zero waste platform, then you could do that. So I remember the time when we reached out to Louis Vuitton to have a team building activity, and it was really, really cool because they said we want to do a plugin, and then I said, are you sure? Plugin is basically running and picking up trash, that. And they said, yes, this is what we want to do. And then they organized like this big team building activity event in Taikuli, the fancier place in Chengdu. I think there's a Taikuli no, there's no Taikuli
Taikuli. It's actually the same brand. Yeah, same brand, but they call themselves differently in different cities.
Right, so very, very fancy place. And then like people from all over
West China just came to Chengdu,
and then we had the whole introduction of the event, and then the whole itinerary.
Actually, I remember it's a fun fact here because that season of Louis Vuitton it's called green, something green. They made everything like very green, this vibrant green. So that's why probably they had this idea of okay, we're doing the green season now. So how about we also do something like go green? I think they called this team building go green or something. So they contacted us and they said, okay, can we do some team building activities? And we have this time range. And what do you think? And they proposed blogging, and they happily said yes. And then we started this blogging, and during this blogging, we see the interesting contrast of with these people. They work in the fanciest stores in West China, all managers managing a huge group of teams, and now they're like just running about on the street, on the fancy street of Chengdu, picking up trash and running about like happy children. So this is where I think it's interesting. Like the first time thing, because I think it's more authentic. And
I was not very relaxed.
It's okay. What would you like to change? Like, what do you feel is like not well expressed?
No, I mean me. What would I like to change? Me.
That's